Welcome to SciSage, where everything is simple. Today, we're tackling a question that, let's be honest, feels more and more relevant in our crazy, fast-paced world. Is it really possible to function and maybe even thrive on just 5 hours of sleep a night? You hear it all the time, right? CEOs, world leaders, famous artists, so many high achievers claim they barely need any sleep. But what does the science actually say? Can we really just hack our biology to get by on less? Okay, let's get into it. But before we get deep into the science, let's start with something super powerful you can do tonight. As it gets closer to bedtime, just dim your lights. It's that simple. This little change tells your brain it's time to start making melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you fall asleep. It's a great little preview of how we can work with our bodies, not against them. It's a really tempting idea, isn't it? The 5-hour sleep night. But to see if it's even possible, we first have to understand the system we're trying to outsmart. Because, what happens when you close your eyes? It's not just flipping an off switch. It's this incredible, complex biological dance that happens every single night.
When you fall asleep, you're not just out cold for 8 hours. Think of it more like you're embarking on a nightly expedition. Your brain cycles through these different stages over and over, and each stage has its own critical job to do.
Okay, so your night starts with some light sleep. Then you get deeper until you hit the really important stuff, deep sleep. That's for your body's physical repairs. Then there's REM sleep, which is when your brain gets to work, sorting through memories and emotions. These cycles repeat all night, but here's the kicker. The REM stages get longer towards the morning. This is why cutting your sleep short is so bad. It disproportionately robs you of that critical brain-organizing REM sleep. So what actually makes you feel sleepy in the first place? Well, a huge part of it is this chemical called adenosine. Think of it like a sleepiness timer. From the second you wake up, adenosine starts building up in your brain. The more you have, the more sleep pressure you feel, until it's just overwhelming. But it's not just that sleep timer. You've also got this internal master clock, your circadian rhythm. It's tucked away deep in your brain, running on a 24-hour cycle, telling your body when to be alert and when to power down. And its most powerful cue for staying on time? Daylight. So here's the bottom line, the thing you really need to get. You're getting two totally different kinds of rest. Deep sleep is kind of like your body's mechanic, doing all the physical repairs. REM sleep is more like your brain's personal assistant, filing away memories and managing your feelings. You absolutely need both to be at your best. Okay, so knowing how it all works is one thing. Now, how do we actually use that info to make the sleep we do get way more powerful? Well, I've got 5 key strategies for you. And listen, these 5 evidence-based strategies, they aren't just random tips I pulled from thin air. They're specifically designed to work in harmony with the very biological systems we just talked about. So we've got mastering your light, curating your environment, managing your caffeine, creating a wind-down routine, and getting physically active. Each one of these is a pillar that actively supports your body's natural rhythms, setting you up for an amazing night's sleep. We've already touched on this, but seriously, this is the single most powerful lever you can pull. Morning sunlight hits your eyes and basically shouts, "It's time to be awake," at your internal clock. Then, in the evening, dim, warm light whispers, "Hey, it's time to wind down," letting that melatonin work its magic. Your sleep environment really matters. And it's more than just being dark and quiet. I mean, who knew? Even the colors on your walls can have an impact. Some research suggests that these calm, light tones, like pale blues or greens, can have a soothing effect and might even help you sleep longer. And this right here, this explains everything about why that afternoon coffee can be so disruptive. Remember adenosine, our little sleepiness chemical? Well, caffeine is a master imposter. It slides right into your brain's adenosine receptors and just blocks them. So even when your sleep pressure is building, the message can't get through. That's why cutting off caffeine early is so important. You can't just slam on the brakes, right? You can't go from 100 miles an hour to 0 in an instant. A consistent wind-down routine is like a cool-down lap for your brain. By doing these same calm stuff every night, reading, meditating, whatever works for you, you create this powerful signal that tells your brain, hey, sleep is coming. And last but not least, move your body during the day.
And no, you don't need to go run a marathon. Studies show that even just a regular daily walk can seriously increase your drive to sleep at night and improve the overall quality of that sleep.
Okay, so we've learned how sleep works, and we've learned how to improve its quality, which brings us all the way back to the million-dollar question. If we do all of this perfectly, is 5 hours finally enough?
All right, let's push the stories and anecdotes aside for a second and look at what the controlled scientific studies tell us about what really happens when you consistently try to sleep this little.
And honestly, the research is pretty sobering. Studies that force people down to 4 or 5 hours a night show this steady, day-after-day decline in their performance. But here's the scary part. Participants often feel like they've adapted after a few days, but their actual test scores on things like attention and reaction time, they just keep getting worse and worse.
The hidden cost inside your body is even more severe. It's not just about feeling tired. What this science is telling us is that chronic sleep loss puts your body into a constant state of low-grade inflammation, and it tanks your immune system. That's a recipe for long-term health problems. Now look, there is a tiny, tiny fraction of the population that might have a genetic mutation that lets them function on less sleep. But for the vast majority of us, for you, for me, the scientific consensus is crystal clear. Our brains and our bodies need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night to get all that crucial repair work done. So in the end, maybe the goal isn't to find some magic bullet for surviving on 5 hours. All these strategies we just talked about aren't about hacking sleep. They're about honoring it. By focusing on improving the quality of our sleep, we make sure that the time we do spend asleep is as restorative as humanly possible. Maybe the real question isn't how little we can get away with, but how truly awake, sharp, and healthy we can be.